Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So that didn't take very long. Jrue Holiday has officially been traded to the Boston Celtics. And, I've seen a lot, I've watched a couple videos on this already of other people talking about it, and I'm just going to be honest with you, man, my opinion on this is a little different than everybody else's, because there's such a thing as fit, right, with NBA teams. And, I don't know how much I actually like the fit with Jrue Holiday being on the Celtics. So in case you guys don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the trade is officially Jrue Holiday is going to the Celtics for Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and 2 first-round picks. The first-round picks are a 2024 from Golden State and a 2029 from the Celtics unprotected. And Portland did a great job, these past couple weeks of getting draft assets, getting young players. Joe Cronin has done a fabulous job. And I don't give Joe Cronin a lot of credit. I thought he was a fucking idiot for some of the trades that he's made. Honestly, a lot of the trades that Portland have made in recent years have not been great. They've not been smart trades. They've not been brilliant by any means. But these past 2 weeks, Joe Cronin has at least, redeemed himself to an extent. Now, I will say this. Malcolm Brogdon's probably not going to stay on the Portland Trail Blazers. I have a feeling they're going to try to move him too. But immediately off rip, I want to say this trade's like an A+ for the Blazers and kind of like a B for the Celtics. I know a lot of people are just rating it a fucking A because it's Jrue Holiday. But the thing is, I don't really think they needed him. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think the Celtics needed Jrue Holiday. Yeah, it's great you got him, but, it comes at the cost of giving up value in your front court or, some defensive prowess in your front court. Now, I will say this. My original issues with the Celtics was the idea that it's you have Porzingis and you have Brogdon. They're good players when they actually play on the fucking basketball court, when they're actually available to play. And Kristaps Porzingis already has been a guy where this past summer he didn't play in FIBA because he had a leg injury. So there's that. And then apparently there's rumblings that Malcolm Brogdon's got some injuries that are not really things that can be fixed, essentially. So obviously Portland's going to try to move off of him, I think, at some point here in probably the next week or so before the season starts. But the thing for the Celtics is I don't think you really needed Jrue Holiday. Brad Stevens must have really, really fucking wanted him, because the idea that they're giving up Robert Williams, to me, just seems like a move that down the road 3 years from now, Celtics fans are going to look back on this and go, why the fuck did we give up Robert Williams for Jrue Holiday? Because the fact of the matter is, this is your team. At this point, this is your fucking roster, right? Jrue Holiday is going to sign an extension. They extended Porzingis. They just extended Jaylen Brown. And they're probably going to extend Jason Tatum again at some point before he's even available to be extended. I think it's as soon as they become eligible for extensions, they sign with these super crazy fucking deals. So if you're a Celtics fan, you're strapped in. This is your fucking team. And I just think to myself, man, come the playoffs, somebody's got to guard Joel Embiid. Somebody's got to guard Giannis. Somebody's got to guard Bam Adebayo. Somebody has to guard these people. And what the reason I have a problem with this whole trade is because you're asking Kristaps Porzingis and a 37-year-old Al Horford to be your 2 centers for this entire upcoming season and go into the playoffs. And Porzingis already has injury stuff. He's had injury stuff for his entire fucking career, okay? And this past summer, he already didn't play in FIBA because of a leg injury. So my biggest issue with this whole thing is You're putting a whole lot of stock in Kristaps Porzingis playing 60, 65 games for you this season. Because if Kristaps Porzingis gets injured early on, is a 37-year-old Al Horford going to be able to play 30, 35 minutes for you every single night in the season, then go into the playoffs and have to guard guys like Joel Embiid, Giannis, and Bam Adebayo? I'm assuming the Celtics are going to try to sign another center, but the problem is, finding good defensive centers in the NBA that can actually defend guys like that are very few and far between. And while I do think, like, overall, if Porzingis and Horford can stay healthy, yeah, the trade's a win. I'll call it what it is. It's a win. But I just feel like down the road a couple years when Giannis and Damian Lillard are still doing their thing and the Celtics are scrounging for fucking cap space wherever they can find it to find guys who can play defense at the power forward and center position and stuff like that, small forward position as well. When they're scrounging for scraps at the fucking table because they're so strapped up in cap space, I feel like that's when they're going to start to feel it. Like my friend Eric, who is a diehard Celtics fan, we have a group chat on Snapchat. And I was like, yo, I got to check Snapchat. Right? I got to check the group chat because Eric's going to be talking about this. He always does. Like whenever a trade goes off with the Celtics, he tells us how great the fucking Celtics are. Even he was like, this trade sucks because we got rid of Robert Williams. And Robert Williams is a damn good player. The Portland Trailblazers has got themselves a great weak side defender who's 25 years old on what feels like a bargain contract deal. Like, he's always in the dunker spot. He's a switchable defender. He's a bit of an underrated passer. Like, this is great for the fucking Trailblazers, and they're going to probably play him next to fucking DeAndre Ayton. So I'm like, okay. The Portland Trailblazers did one good thing, was shore up their defense. Like, that's one thing they definitely did this offseason, was like, yeah, we traded Damian Lillard, but we got a shit ton of draft capital, and we got DeAndre Ayton, we got Robert Williams. Like, they got better defensively. You know what I'm saying? So, they got rid of Nurkic and brought in DeAndre Ayton, and I tend to think DeAndre Ayton's a better defender than Jusuf Nurkic. But it just, to me, I think down the road, this is really, really going to bite the Celtics in the ass. I feel like they're going to run into salary cap issues at some point. And, the Portland Trailblazers, on their side of things, yeah, they could still trade Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know to who. I don't really know who's going to want Malcolm Brogdon like that. I have a feeling that they're going to try to flip Brogdon for a pick or a young player to some team, maybe the Clippers or somebody like that. I don't know who. The Clippers have been rumored, but it's just the idea, man. Like, I look at this Celtics team and I cringe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, we know what Porzingis' injury history is, and if Porzingis cannot stay healthy, I feel like this goes downhill pretty quickly. And yeah, they still have Derek White. They still have Jrue Holiday, where it's like, if they're in a pinch, yeah, they could maybe trade one of those guys. They could probably trade Derek White if they have to get somebody in that front court that can help them on defense. But I just think to myself, like, you're asking a lot of Porzingis and a 37-year-old Al Horford. Al Horford's got 2 years left on his deal, and he's 37. We don't even know if Al Horford's going to continue to be the defender that he has been, in the past 2 years. At some point, like, Al Horford's done a good job of keeping his body healthy and continuing to be the guy that we expect him to be. I think he's still going to knock down catch and shoot threes, but just the idea, man, I think to myself, like, one injury, all it takes is one injury for this whole fucking thing to go wrong. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But, Scoot Henderson is going to have a lot of lob threats. Okay, you got Shaedon Sharpe. You have Robert Williams now. You got DeAndre Ayton. All right, Portland Trailblazers are going to be kind of fun to watch. They'll be a team I might dedicate some time to this upcoming year. But from like my gut feeling on this is that something's gonna go wrong, and like, I just think to myself, like, this was just an unnecessary trade for, like, I just can't help but feel like this was unnecessary for them. Like, yeah, Jrue Holiday wanted to go there, but just because he wanted to go there doesn't mean you had to trade for him. And I just think giving up Robert Williams, I understand Robert Williams is not the better player, but you gave up Brogdon and Robert Williams and picks to get one player in return. And I'm like, I think to myself, even though I had injury concerns about Brogdon, I just think the idea that you had to throw Robert Williams in there too is like, feels kind of like I said, remember when I made the video yesterday in the Pacers video saying that when you go after guys like Jrue Holiday, who are not big fishes but bigger fish, you usually have to give up more than what they're worth in order to get them. That's what happened here. That's what I think happened here. Because I thought, when I first saw the trade, when I was like, it's just Brogdon and 2 first-round picks, fuck yeah, great trade. But then Robert Williams, I'm like, he's kind of like your fucking meat and potatoes on defense, and you just got rid of him. So, I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait and see how this goes, but I worry now. Now I worry. Because if Porzingis gets injured... I don't know how this is going to go. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.